Comes to that meeting. 8:26 now. You're watching 10 News this morning.
Right now on 10 News this morning, sharks spotted at 2 different local beaches. A shark advisory now in effect. We'll tell you which beaches lifeguards are urging people to be cautious at.
And we'll see a chance of thunderstorms with muggy conditions on the way. I'm tracking your forecast heading into your next work week.
Multiple people found dead in a semi-trailer in Texas. Many more rushed to the hospital. What police are saying happened here. 10 News this morning starts right now.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
And welcome on your Sunday morning. We are on top of all the news you need to start your day. I'm Jim Patton.
I'm Mary McKenzie. We're glad you're here with us. Grab another cup of coffee, and I would say stay indoors, but this is the good day.
Yeah, you know, it's beautiful outside. So I say go outside because tomorrow we're going to start to see some of that humidity. And hey, maybe you want to check out the safari park. Live picture here of the elephants. I love looking through different cameras, seeing what the animals are up to, and they are enjoying the sunshine. Yeah, they're enjoying the meal, I can see there. This is a live look here at the safari park in Escondido, and it is sunny there. We are going to be pretty warm here today for your Sunday. Our current conditions right now, we are at 71 degrees. The wind's coming out of the south 5 miles per hour. Of course, it is the last day of Comic-Con today. Thousands of people heading to downtown, and we are going to be in the 70s by this afternoon when the Doctor Who panel kicks off at 2 o'clock, about 76 degrees and sunny. When I return, I'll have your full weather forecast. Mary and Jim, over to you.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Happening now, 2 shark sightings in one day. That means a shark advisory is in effect today at multiple beaches along the coast of San Diego. This comes, of course, as the beaches are packed with people out enjoying the hot weekend. Lifeguards put up warning signs at Silver Strand Beach after a surfer saw a shark there yesterday morning. The beach stayed open, but swimmers were warned to go in the water at their own risk. We talked to the surfer who spotted the shark. He told us he was waiting for another set of waves with a friend when he saw it.
I saw a fin pop up coming towards me about 40 feet away, popped up again 10 feet closer, and then it started to do this sideways swimming movement that a shark typically will do.
Pass. Absolutely a pass there. Wow. There was another shark sighting yesterday afternoon, by the way, in Santa Onofre. The beach up north also stayed open. The shark advisory is only in effect until today.
And we are continuing to follow breaking news out of Texas from overnight. 8 people found dead in the back of a brutally hot semi-truck in a Walmart parking lot.
20 more rushed to the hospital with critical injuries. San Antonio police say it appears to be a smuggling operation involving undocumented immigrants, and they're calling this a mass casualty event. They say when they opened up the trailer, they found 38 people inside, including 2 school-aged children. Paramedics say many of the people were hot to the touch, pointing to signs of heat stroke. It was 101 degrees in San Antonio yesterday, and the trailer did not have air conditioning. Police say they think more people may have run from the scene, and they are searching for them now. One person is in custody, believed to be the semi-truck driver.
And check it out. You see the plume of smoke rising here. Fire crews working to get the upper hand on a wildfire that is burning in the far northeast county. The Lost Fire, it's being called, has burned 210 acres near Warner Springs. Just in, we're hearing that there could be possible road closures in the area, and we're working to get more information for you on that. Right now, no homes are in danger, but crews did have to evacuate the nearby Lost Valley Boy Scout campground and the Indian Flats campground. Sheriff's Department has issued a voluntary evacuation order for the Chihuahua Valley area. At last check, CAL FIRE said the fire had slowed. It is now about 20% contained. Take a look at this, a better idea of where this fire is burning. You can see up here where we have this area circled. This is about 4 miles north of Warner Springs, which is northeast of Escondido.
Further upstate in the San Bernardino County, a brush fire is burning. Check this out, dangerously close to those homes. This is in the city of Highland. It started yesterday afternoon. Fire crews say so far it's burned about 20 acres. There is zero containment right now, but they have been able to slow down the fire. Believe it or not, no evacuation orders have been issued yet, despite how close those flames are. But there are streets, including that one in the area, that are closed.
Severe weather alert. We may be dealing with hot weather in California, but severe thunderstorms are hitting some parts of the Midwest. In Kansas City, Missouri, strong winds, flash floods are creating a nightmare situation in the area. Trees are falling in neighborhoods. One even fell, leaving a driver trapped in his car. Winds so strong they're also knocking down power lines, leaving many neighborhoods without power. So far, no reports, though, of any injuries due to this weather.
New this morning, a day of pomp and circumstance Saturday as President Trump commissioned the USS Gerald Ford. But ABC's David Wright explains that the fun may be over today as the president's inner circle gets ready to testify on Capitol Hill.
In a ceremony full of pomp and naval tradition,
Ship's company, attention!
President Trump sought to highlight his efforts to make the U.S. military bigger, better, and stronger.
American steel and American hands have constructed a 100,000-ton message to the world.
Trump made no mention of the fact that the USS Gerald Ford came in late and over budget by nearly $3 billion, 25%, though he has been critical of those cost overruns before. On this occasion, he asked for the sailors' help in passing a new budget that calls for an extra $74 billion in military spending over 2 years.
So call that congressman and call that senator and make sure you get it. And by the way, you can also call those senators to make sure you get health care.
The commander-in-chief appearing to order men and women in uniform to support him politically. That's a break with tradition. Congress is not making it easy for Trump, adopting parliamentary rules that'll require 60 votes on major portions of the Republican health care bill. The Senate and House also agreeing Saturday to force the White House to get their approval before easing Russian sanctions, a provision the administration has lobbied against. As Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner heads to Capitol Hill this week to be interviewed behind closed doors in the Russia probe, the president pointedly asserted on Twitter that all agree the U.S. president has the complete power to pardon. But Trump insists he's not even thinking about doing that because, he insists, the only crime so far is leaks against us.
That was David Wright reporting. Now, the president's personal attorney has said that since the president's legal team, that the president's legal team is not looking into that question about pardons.
New information, General Motors may pull the plug on the Chevrolet Volt as sales continue to plummet. Consumers are increasingly turning to SUVs and pickups, which has GM considering eliminating the Volt hybrid and 5 other vehicles: the Buick LaCrosse, Cadillac CT6, Cadillac XTS, Chevrolet Impala, and Chevrolet Sonic. President of the United Auto Workers says there are ongoing discussions with GM, Ford, and Fiat Chrysler about falling car sales and how to keep the automakers' U.S. plants operating at full capacity.
Right now, veterans and their families they're wrapping up a fantastic weekend where they had free food and clothes, job help, mental health services, and so much more. It's the 30th annual Stand Down for Homeless Veterans, and it's been happening all weekend long at San Diego High School. 10
News reporter Jessica Chen live there. Jessica, this just doesn't happen without the volunteers.
That's right. It takes thousands of volunteers to put on an event like this, and for 3 days, homeless veterans get to camp here, and they have a lot of services offered to them. Like if you pan over to this tent here, this is where they can find them. You can see there's the Salvation Army, there's a Veterans Community Service, and this is all offered to them in one place to make it convenient for them. Now here's video of what the camp Stand Down looks like. Dozens of tents pitched where veterans stay for a whole weekend at San Diego High School. According to the Veterans Village of San Diego, who puts on the event, they say their goal is to get homeless veterans off the streets. They offer services all in one place, so it's easier for attendees to have access to it all. There are about 9,100 homeless people in San Diego, and of those, about 1,000 have served in the military. As you mentioned, today is the last day. Organizers say their biggest hope is that those who are here have taken advantage of it so they can help themselves get off the streets. Now, organizers say the homeless veterans population has steadily gone down here in San Diego, and they attribute it to services like Stand Down this weekend. For now, reporting in East Village, Jessica Chen, 10 News.
Happening today, you still have a chance to take a tour of the Navy's newest ship right here in San Diego. The USS Gabrielle Giffords arrived here 2 weeks ago and we were. Jim specifically was on base when it got here. This is the home port for the ship. Public tours today go from 8 to 4. If you do go, be ready for security screening, and it's important to know that the ship is not handicap accessible.
Weather Rate certified San Diego's most accurate forecast. This is 10 News Pinpoint Weather. For great rates and a better banking experience, visit missionfed.com today.
It's interesting to note that if you were to design years ago something that looked futuristic, you would probably draw a ship that looks like these littoral battleships. Yeah. And,
really incredible.
Or warships, I should say. A battleship is something specific, but yeah, these are warships. And they look very much out of the future.
Oh yeah,
it's so incredible to see it up close too. So hopefully people get outside, especially today because the humidity is going to kick in tomorrow. And so enjoy today. This is a live look outside La Jolla, 8:39 in the morning. Saw some surfers out there. I've been scanning all of our sky cams, and not a bad day to be out at the beaches where water temps are in the lower 70s. Right now, our current conditions: Ramona 73 degrees, Poway Euro at 75, Carlsbad 70 degrees, and Imperial Beach seeing the same temperature, 70 degrees as well. Now we do have an easterly flow heading toward our area, which means it's bringing in that moisture and the humidity, so it's going to feel sticky later on tonight and into tomorrow. We're also going to see here a chance of some showers. Today we have the best chance mostly in the afternoon for our mountain communities, but that chance sticks around with us for the next couple of days. You can see Monday we have about a 20% chance of rain here, and then Tuesday that's about a 10% chance. Later on the week we do start to dry out. Our forecast highs for today: about 86 in Poway, El Cajon, 86